Now, I have in my head that I didn't come and check this again. The trash can. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says whirling in rags. Open the padlock with the key. The world cracked, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Why? Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobocop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content. What's this? Just a feeling, a warning from some part of you. Open the lid. Smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. We're just in time, the lieutenant peers in. This hasn't been emptied for over a week. A dig in Hobocop style for extra content. Am I got Hobocop? I haven't got Hobocop yet. Maybe I should get Hobocop first? And the other thing about Ace's Low is it gives me empathy towards Kim, but maybe I don't need that just yet? I'm going back to Hobocop. And I feel like I shouldn't look in this bin until I've done Hobocop. Dig in Hobocop style for extra content. Wow, an Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon, half wrapped in paper tissue. So shiny. Or knock cannon. What's a knock cannon? It's a giant rifle and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking along the rotten banana peels, however. Is that a Cordon Electrics preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is! That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000 easy, unless you're into hi-fi yourself. I am into hi-fi. That's too bad, because none of those tags are actually in there. There's just food waste and crisp wrapping. Extra content! A cruel jest, there must be something. All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. An antique? Only in its social sensibility. Take the mug. Yellow man mug. The man briefly glances at the mug, then returns his sight to the trash. Under the boxes of carton, you see milk, an egg rest with one broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. I'm the murderer! You've done this before, the movements are recorded in your elbows, the mythology in your fingers. You're used to this. Used to what, dumpster diving? No, searching for evidence in the trash. Good practice for dumpster diving. 5 further. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Pick at the rags. Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. Grab them. As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air. The victim's clothes. The lieutenant smells them. Cadaverine odour is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in early stages of decay. Lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. How convenient, Lieutenant! You were ready for this? Well, I guess you should have been. What is this? Oh, it's just I thought he was holding that. Psychically, telekinetically. Drop them in here, officer. Bag the trousers. Jim quickly searches the jeans. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty. Or emptied. He wore them with a belt too, a wide belt. The loops appear stretched, but he looks into the container. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here. Something slimy catches your eye. Reach for it. A drab long-sleeve shirt, olive-coloured, appears from the food waste dripping with pus. Bag the shirt. This is a military-typed overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armour to conceal it in an urban scenario. He knows to himself. Anything more? The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste, just garbage. That's all, I think. Who put the clothes in the trash? Aight, we should go to Garta again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard, or that one. He nods towards the red-headed boy behind him. I'd advise against confronting that force. You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe? Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and this establishment had the key. It's just a small, loose thread. Yeah, we need to ask the kids who put them here. The fuck's he on about, kids? The one behind the fence yells. You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something. See? Okay. Lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. Search the food waste. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands, apple and potato peels mostly, unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this? What? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny, looks like the corner of something. Pick it out. It's a damaged légère. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes written in a man's handwriting. What does a man's handwriting look like? Officer, is that your paperwork? I don't know what this is. I found my paperwork. Secret ask. It is. Look, he points to the clipboard. The plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there. A miserable looking slip of paper sticks to the board. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? It has a foreboding quality to it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. What are you talking about? I speaketh the tongue. Does thou also thorough inventories? He points to the ruined notes. You should take stock of your notes, make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen in the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue. Let's say nothing. Read your ledger and name the case. Would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Anyway, where were we? The lieutenant peers into the trash container where soggy cartons and rags stink uninvitingly. Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and find the Interact tab to read your paperwork, which I cannot do right now, I'm guessing? No. So what? Find it's around here somewhere. Ask Kuno, ask Garta, read your ledger. Alright, we've inspected the body. Close the lid. The container sounds a muffled gong. That's one thing off the list, the lieutenant sounds relieved. I think we got it all. Okay, so I'm supposed to read our ledger. Yellow mag mug. Use the interact button in inventory to inspect the item. Oh, here we go. This broken-eared mug somehow made its way into the wording in Rag's dumpster. It depicts a person of Samaran descent, frolicking in a field of saffron flowers, buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. Seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial area antique. Interact. Yellow man mug. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all that content. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garage? Garbage. The garbage. Well, I guess this mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do. But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work? Just finish your case, detective. Fair enough. Damaged légère. Could I have interacted with this? Instant photo of tattoos? Oh. Intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hangman from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Where? Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. The pattern still has kind of an ethnic feel to it, but nothing familiar. Who are you? Gone. What is the meaning of this tattoo? For you to discover, you've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you. Alright, cool. This is the ledger you found in the trash. It's full of notes written in a man's dense cursive. Have a closer look, maybe it can be salvaged to start keeping notes on the case. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from a plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urine cleaner. Urinal cleaner. Anything else? There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Lol. Thank you, waterlogged ledger, for spelling it out for us. Alright, let's see. Inspect the toilet paper. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Maybe it's kitchen tissue. If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue. It's not though, it's toilet paper. Alright, take it off. Still wet, the toilet paper, kitchen tissue, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better. Inspect the clip. The aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. Run your finger across the aluminium. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark made to be low visibility outside of the right circumstances. It's similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there? Lieutenant, is this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned? Point to the sticker. What? He is lost in his own notes. It takes a moment for her to see it. Yes, a halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. Interesting. What kind of information? It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue. Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How can I read it? Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. You mentioned the headlights of your kinema. Yes, there is a pause. RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks. This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on. Okay, he returns to his neatly kept notes. Browse the white papers. They're not exactly white, they're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolour patterns, reaching as tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered with faint red lines forming short paragraphs. Once in a while there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organised and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. What is in there? What are they about? Work, strife, poverty. The Jamrock Quarter. These are the handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51 this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to the missing pages and an odd naming convention, but there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March and you have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all? That's it? The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover, a molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant? Huh? He raises his nose from his notes. 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot. Yes, you really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them though. 2? He raises both eyebrows. That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you're making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I burned out all right. That's okay. He nods, then turns back to his own case files. We all do sooner or later. Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hands. Their handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. There was mention of a naming convention here? Yes. It appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say, even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop show staples. Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural, another The Square Bullet Hole Murders, another yet The Unsolvable Case. More? Others appear more light-hearted. The guy's on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlour, if you prefer. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. Going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done later, once you're done inspecting them up close. Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention. You mean the alphanumeric officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles. Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. Why is that? It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves. I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders. Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one, he peeks at his notes, the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person, his death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. He smiles. I pray his loved ones never find out. What happened to him? Rail spike through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident. Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room? There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Commit to paper. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event. The ledger only comes with an old worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely, but... Kim, do you have a pen? Lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He's not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them. Can I have one? Know that I give this to you. He pulls one from the loop. With resentment. With this beauty. Commit to paper. The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brush-free hand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily, it's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect victim's body. Get the body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. Cross out the ones you've already finished. A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion. Who's Harry? Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? No, actually. Any ideas? Actually, I don't have one. Oh well, then maybe I can suggest one? Go ahead. The Hanged Man. I'm not feeling it. Are you sure? I think it's pretty serviceable. Yeah, not feeling it. Okay then, he returns with his notes abruptly. The case doesn't need to have a name. Oh, Kim, I'm sorry. Let's name this case again. Fine, he concedes, for the Inter-District Corporation. Let's try one more time. What do you want to name it? Well, I'm going to have to call it The Furies Are at Home in the Mirror. Furies, yes. Well, it's obvious he doesn't like it. I don't know. I have to be honest, I've not experienced the internal strife that refers to. And also, he furrows his brow. Could we make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good, normal name? Yes, you know what that normal name is, but it's so plain. Anything else, please. I don't want to call it the Hanged Man. Shit on a stick. Ha, yes, he isn't actually laughing. I have to tell you, officer, I don't appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have a use of will use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. You're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny? The Setting Sun. Okay, he nods. It's a good name, but it has one problem. This case has nothing to do with the setting sun at all. It has nothing to do with that, so something more concrete perhaps. Do you have something concrete, mundane, usual? Alright, it's the Hanged Man. Great, that's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. Well, fuck you, game. He flips the pages of his notebook. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's a good we sorted this out. I'm done expecting these.